It was kind of an interesting story, and we have copies of The Captive in the Historical Commission office, and people come from all kinds of venues to learn of her, especially colleges. American University just had a tour of the Mary Rowlandson sites in the area, and they're very interested because she was the first woman author. So her stamina and her expression of what had happened to her is a fine example of how a captive experienced that terrible ordeal they went through at the time. David Knott is one of our society vice presidents who's just resigned, and he was a professor at Atlantic Union College in English, and he is moving to Michigan to be closer to family, and we're going to miss his presence because he was very well versed on Mary Rowlandson and had a slide presentation that he did for us in the past. And we've had authors come who've written more modern text, and they have given us copies of their work. And we're always interested. People are very interested in Mary Rowlandson right now. There's talk of doing a movie. There's been an opera being composed about that time frame, and it was a very interesting time to be a Lancastrian, for sure.
You know, Lancaster's history with artifacts is really rich and deep, and a lot of our artifacts were donated to the town, which are in safekeeping in the Thayer Memorial Library at this point upstairs, which is open a particular evening, which it would be best to call the library and find out the night they are open, but it's well worth seeing. There are a lot of Mary Rowlandson things there, a lot of Civil War items and objects that were given to the town that are in safekeeping up there. The Historical Society has some, the Historical Commission has a bunch of stuff, and we are always looking for people who don't know what to do with Lancaster-related objects. It would be nice, instead of throwing them away, donating them to one of the organizations for the future of this town. And what you may not consider old in the future is going to be old and part of Lancaster's history, so really think about it before it goes into the trash or into a yard sale. Please come and visit us.
We try to apply for grants for projects. In the past, Michael was very instrumental in finding a restorator for the a restorer for the library's portrait of Frances Washburn, and we're always trying to help preserve the quality items that are needing attention. We have a few items in the Society's collection, and they have been either donated by citizens of the town or have been picked up at auctions in the local area. And we don't have a large collection, but we have a significant collection. We have a sampler that was done by a young girl, Nancy Pollard, age 8. We have one of the original fire buckets that were used by the fire brigades in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when they have the hose wagons. And we also have a doll puppet that was part of Herbert Hosmer's collection, and he had been one of the original members of the Lancaster League, and his collection has been recently spread out a lot. Also, recently we have lost one of our members, Bill Kilburn, and his family has had deep roots, and we will miss Bill. He was a member for a long time and would always be very helpful to people coming into town looking for a graveyard where their ancestor might be buried, or where was Mary Rowlandson's rock where she spent the first night after her capture, and the Rowlandson garrison was burned. So we will miss him significantly.
We've had, considering our programs over the 19 years we've had our tours of our very early cemeteries, all the way up to our present cemeteries. We've had programs on Mary Rowlandson, the town buildings, a lot of the notable people who lived in town. Some of them are now we're starting to go out of town. We've had a program done by Terry and Garno in Clinton about the building of the Clinton Dam. And some of our recent programs we are coming up with. In November 16th, we're going to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the town hall at a celebration in the town hall. So everyone is welcome to that, and come see this wonderful building that was built by the Thayer brothers in memory of their father. We're going to have an interesting program on Is Your House Haunted? And some people, unexplained mysteries. This Kathy Caselin and paranormal investigators is coming to give us a talk. So it should be very interesting, because some people in this town assume their house is haunted. When I bought my house on Barnes Court, they told me this house was haunted, but must be a good ghost, because I haven't seen them yet. And then our annual meeting, which will be on April 26th on a Sunday at 2 o'clock. The program is going to be called Rock to Rock, and we're going to have a narrated bus tour going from the Rowlandson Rock up here on George Hill to Redemption Rock in Sterling, where Mary Rowlandson was liberated, and it'll be narrated and give the exploits of Mary Rowlandson. Seating will be limited, so if anyone's interested, they should call myself at 365-5833. In closing, we would like to thank Jane Pascoe for doing this interview for the Historical Society. Anyone who is interested in joining the Historical Society, we know that a lot of people just do not get involved in organizations today. But if you want to know about your history in Lancaster and the surrounding towns, we are always looking for memberships. The thing to do is write the Lancaster Historical Society, Box 244, Lancaster, Mass. 01523, and express an interest, and we will send you out our program. And the dues and membership is $10 for basic membership. Family is $15, sustaining is $25, and patron is $100. And it's a well worth endeavor. It's like going to the movies and probably a lot less money, but we don't serve popcorn. But thank you very much.